Hi everybody, it's Jenny from the Missouri Star Quilt Company, and it's Tuesday Newsday, and we're having a grand day today. The weather is beautiful, a little humid. We're supposed to have a little rain coming this afternoon, I think, aren't we, Annie? Yeah, and so we love it when the rain comes because all the crops are coming up. This morning I was walking, and every day it's been like, the corn is as high as a grasshopper's eye, and then it's as high as and I keep having to come up with some kind of animal that levels it up. I'm like, now we're at a small pearl-sized dog high corn. It's just like every day I walk, it's a little bit different, and it's fun. This morning was interesting though, because there was a cow out, and I had to help wrangle the cow, and he ended up going right back through the fence where he came out of the fence. But like, you never know what you're going to get to do when you come here to Hamilton, so that's kind of fun. I was a cow wrangler. Anyway, so if you're in town today, at 11 o'clock at the main shop is my book signing. This is my new book. I love it, you guys. I love it so much. And we're going to have a book signing in the main shop. And so I know it's not much notice. This video will go up early morning, but if you're in town, come by the main shop at 11 and we will sign these books. And so I put a little thing on my personal Instagram page, which is Jenny MSQC. And I was talking about the book, there's 21 patterns, everything, but my favorite thing really is that it just lays flat, so when you're ready to work on a pattern like this, it just lays flat, it's the little things. I just love that about this book. I love all the pictures. We did some real digging through, old photographs and things like that it's just fun to see, it's like a little time capsule of your life. No, we went and watched a baseball game on Saturday, and this guy's little boy was playing. They're about the same age in those pictures. Anyway, fun to see that. And so this is coming out and will be available at the book signing. And you can get your own book signed. All right, the tutorial this Friday is the monkey wrench, which is here. So the difference between a churn dash and a monkey wrench is that with a churn dash, all 9 of these blocks are equal. With a monkey wrench, it's the same style of block, but these inner blocks are generally smaller. And so this is a miniature monkey wrench made with a charm pack. So that's kind of a fun thing to do with a charm pack. And you'll get to see that this Friday as well. Birthday Bash is coming in September. I think there's only like, maybe, 13 Saturdays or 13 weeks or something, not very many weeks. But the tickets are all on sale. And I'm gonna do a whole trunk show on this book, on the Quilting Through Life. So we'll show the quilts that are in this book. And there's tickets still available for that trunk show. And I think that'll be really fun. Last week's tutorial was on some Bonnet Sue. And those were blocks that I found at an antique store. And my intention was to show you how to use the antique block that you found somewhere and set it with another block. That was my intention. So I mostly focused and taught on the antique block. But then there were several people who wanted to know how to do Bonnet Sue. So we included this free printable. And literally, you're just gonna get a little piece of Sew and Light. What is it called? Sew Light? Sew Light adhesive. You're gonna lay it over here, and you're gonna trace these out like this, and you're just gonna iron these onto a background square, and you can actually do it however you want to do it. I'm gonna just trace these out like this. And I had to actually repair quite a few of the ones that I got from the antique store. Like, as I started putting them together, I looked at them, and one girl didn't have a shoe, and one girl didn't have her embroidery done, and one girl, they were just all different kinds of problems going on with these girls. And so I had to repair them and fix them so that they would work. And that was actually really fun for me. So like, we'll choose a little hat right here. And I'm gonna find a little piece of fabric right here. We're gonna give her a yellow hat. And then you'll just put this on here like this, fit it on here. and you will iron it and it will adhere. And then you're just going to cut it out again. And you can be a lot more careful if you're with your fabric if you want to, but you always like rough cut it on the paper, and then you cut it on the line when you're trimming it on the fabric. It makes it much easier to cut. So then what you'll do is you take your background square like this, and you just start building your Bonnet Sue. And I have one that's done right here. And this, you know, this is her hat, where the hat will go. And so this stitch right here is pure sewing machine. It looks like perfect handwork. And when on the old blocks that I got, she had all this hand embroidery done around here, and I did it on my sewing machine, and it looks perfect. And so you're just gonna lay those things on there, and you're gonna make your own little Bonnet Sue. We made her a little bit smaller so that you could fit everything, you know, easily on a 10-inch square. These I trimmed down to 10. So this was one of the antique blocks, and I trimmed it down to 10. And I have very, very little room from the top and the bottom. So we just made our little Bonnet Sue a little bit smaller. And here's her little arm and her shoe, her little dress. And the dress has a little dot line on it like this. And it's just gonna slide right up under that bonnet. You know, it'll do this, like this. That's what that little line is for, to line it up. And the little shoe will slide right under there. And so it's super easy to make one of these. And I, you know, again, I did my tutorial because I found these blocks, and I wanted to use them in a quilt, and there weren't a lot of them for a big quilt. And so when I got the fabric, I knew this was the one for the Bonnet Sue, because this is the fabric right here that we used. And it's all those 30s, fun 30s prints. And so anyway, you can get your free printable and make your own Bonnet Sues. I would love to see what you do with them. And especially, like, we're so into embroidery here. And so a lot of the Bonnet Sues I had, they had like a hat band embroidered like this. And then out here they had some embroidery, and some of them had different flowers on every hat. And it was just really fun to see. Every little one of the Bonnet Sues had her own little personality. And so it'd be fun to see your Bonnet Sues. And I hope that helps you if you want to make one. But I think we have some questions too, don't we, Annie?
We do have a couple.
That's awesome. I love the questions.
The first one, I'm being careful to make a 1/4-inch seam by using diagonal seam tape and centering my needle, but my unfinished blocks still come out too small. What am I missing?
As long as your blocks are the same size, you're not missing anything. So consistency is more important than perfection. And so my blocks tend to come out a little small as well. So you're like right there with me, which is not a bad thing. So as long as your blocks are fairly consistent, you should be fine. If you're worried about it, you're gonna have to adjust your tape. Like maybe your machine is, when the needle is centered, maybe it isn't quite where it needs to be. Maybe it needs to be a notch to the other side. You know, just get you a little ruler. You know, like we have these little rulers, and they make little tools for this as well. But you know, you can look at where your needle lines up and where your foot is, and I can actually lift my foot up and head right back to my needle and see, and mine just sticks out just a skosh past the foot. And I tend to use the edge of the foot as my guide, but I also sew a lot with pre-cuts, and they have the little peaked edge, and my brain doesn't recognize those as fabric. So those stick over on this side, which probably makes my blocks, you know, it changes that 1/4 inch. But as long as you're consistent, that's the most important thing.
Is there an estimated delivery date for the embroidery learning kit and the embroidery denim quilt?
They're supposed to be available in July.
Yep. They will ship to you by the end of July.
Yeah, I just asked that. You know, we so oversold that. I love that you guys loved it so much, and I love that you've all gone ahead and ordered it anyway. But the kit is so beautiful, and it's time consuming to do that. And so we thought we had enough Obviously we didn't, but I appreciate your patience in waiting for that, because it's going to be worth it when you get it, and it takes a while to make something that beautiful. So I just appreciate that you guys are willing to wait for that.
I would love to see a block for Christmas using all of the Missouri cutouts. The tree would be fantastic.
Oh, well, are you ever in luck? Because we just filmed a triple play using the Christmas templates. And so that will come out Christmas in July, right? In July. So that'll come out in the third week of July. And boy, did we use those templates. You guys are going to love this. It's so fun. I have to say, for me, it was one of the most fun tutorials of the year. I have to say that.
You'll love the projects. I've seen them.
Yeah, they're really, really cute.
Will you have more copies of Jenny's book for sale at Birthday Bash?
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. Because we're also doing some, we're doing a trunk show with it, and several other things, and I'll probably do a book signing then. I'm going to do a book signing when I'm out in Utah at the Garden of Quilts. We're going to do a book signing out there. Last I heard, I think, we're hopeful, crossing our fingers. What else?
Last question. Which needle do you bind with?
Oh, I bind with a quilting needle. So my needle is generally about an 8 or a 9. I like a little needle. And I have big hands, and so I wouldn't have thought that would have been the case, but that's what I'm used to. You know, we become fans of whatever you're used to. What I have noticed is that if I can't find one of those little needles and I pick up a bigger one, it feels harder for me to bind because the needle is thicker. And so I like a nice thin needle, but the straw ones, you know, those are way too long for me. I like a small needle. So I would say probably an 8 or a 9 is my favorite size. And I like to use John James because I definitely break needles. So, so make sure yours is a strong needle. If you use it and you break it, know that you just need a stronger one, because I literally break needles when I bind if I don't use the John James. I know I'm a beast, right? Annie's laughing at me.
That's crazy.
She's like, I can't even imagine it, Grandma.
Snapped it with your fingers, too strong.
Anything else?
That's it.
That was the last question for the day. Well,
Yeah.
I hope you guys have a good week, and I hope to see some of you here today at the book signing, and we'll see you all later. Bye, everybody.